What is up, gang? This is the X-Teen Featurette channel, and I'm Chris. And I have another review video for you today. I'm going to be reviewing Night Terror, aka Night Drive, a 1977 movie starring Valerie Harper. This is put out through Scorpion Releasing via Kino Lorber. So they sent this to me for review. Lewis Witcher and I watched this the other day. He had seen it in the past. This was my first time watching it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was silly. There were so many times I was just like, what? But if you've seen this, you know why. This was a made-for-TV movie, actually, and so it has that, the fade to black in spots for commercial breaks. Very cool movie. I didn't know anything about this prior to watching it. So basically, Valerie Harper, aka Rhoda, I used to watch the Mary Tyler Moore Show on TV Land. I loved Rhoda. So Rhoda, okay, Valerie Harper plays Carol, so I will stop calling her Rhoda now. But anyway, so she plays a housewife named Carol. So the movie opens with my dream home. Rhoda and her husband, Carol and her husband are moving into this new house. They have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and Carol's sister is there helping them move in. And right away we get bombarded with this family dynamic that is just ridiculous. It's so over the top. So Carol is basically this absent-minded housewife, and she is disorganized. She's an airhead. That's pretty much her character, and it was overkill. The first couple minutes, she's just like, did we do this? Did we do this? Did we do this? And it's just like, and her husband's like, yes, dear, we took care of it. Yes, dear, I'm on top of it. Don't worry your pretty little head. That's pretty much the dynamic here is, it reminded me of something that I would have critiqued in like a feminism class or something like that. So here we are. So basically, once the family is introduced, they all split up and go their separate ways. And of course, dad is a working man. He has to provide for his family. So he's like a corporate guy, businessman. He's on a business trip. He has to go take a tour of the borax plant. So, you know how these things are. Just very over the top. So she's driving from Phoenix to Denver, and first of all, I love how, so many driving movies take place in the desert. I get that it's probably a lot easier to film this stuff in the desert, but, so many of them take place in the desert. But anyway, this is pretty much a chase movie, so, cat and mouse type thing. So Richard Romanus's character, the bad guy, things occur and a chase ensues. Now this airheaded mom has to outsmart this villain. He's a pretty interesting character. He has a visible scar on his neck, and he speaks with a voice box machine, and he also has dog tags on him. So, kind of implies something about his past. Some things that I noted, gas was 50 cents a gallon in 1977 in Phoenix, apparently. So that was very disheartening. There's a lot of these characters in this movie are not credited with names. It's just gas station attendant 1. Even though there's very few characters, the people that we do have aren't really named. One of my favorite characters is introduced during a downpour. He is credited as Man in Porsche, but he is actually in a Lincoln. So, got your luxury cars a little bit mixed up there. But he was a drunk, and he was phenomenal. A very comical character for the time that we get to see him. Very funny. Towards the end in Act 3, Carol happens upon this family in a house, and she's trying to get a pickup to make it to a phone. So basically, a pickup is introduced, and let me just say, if you have seen this movie, did you not think that there was going to be I saw something going on with gasoline, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna Mad Max this guy. But it was overall a very enjoyable movie. It wasn't deep by any means, but it was a made-for-TV movie, and it was fun. The music was wacky. Like, this movie was from 1977 and the music sounded like it was from the 50s. Like, I felt like I was watching I Love Lucy. The things that happened, you know, like there would be like romantic music playing at really odd times and stuff, and I'm just like, a very, very interesting choice for that. Yeah, as far as the characters go, Carol was, even though she was an airhead and she was totally ditzy, she was a very compassionate person, and we see that a few times in her actions towards people. There was a squatter in a gas station, and then there was the villain himself. There's people that she's like, you know, that are, you would expect them to be like threatening to her because she's in a very compromised situation, but she shows compassion to people that you wouldn't expect it to. And the other characters, like the villain, I feel like is a very deep character based on what little we know about him. And the husband character, you know, he seems to have a lot that could be unpacked too, but I feel like that's reading a little bit into it. Overall, it's just a fun movie, but yeah, pretty interesting how round the characters are for the type of movie it is. So the only special feature on here is new audio commentary by author and film historian Amanda Reyes and author and podcaster Daniel Budnick. So I listened to the commentary, and it was enjoyable, but it sounded like a podcast. Like, it was kind of weird. I like I said in one of my previous videos, I prefer my commentaries to be more conversational and commenting on the actual scenes as they progress. And you know, this was more like two people came together and had a list of things like, oh, this and this and this and this about this movie, as the film just happened to be playing in the background. Pretty cool information from them. I did learn that there was a lot of stuff cut out of the movie. I'm not sure what difference it was, like this versus whatever aired on TV, but there were a couple scenes that were cut out. So that was interesting because it kind of, I guess, changed the dynamic of how the movie played. But that was pretty much it. That was the one special feature. This is a short movie, 73 minutes, so I loved that. And yeah, it's got Rhoda. So it was a fun cat and mouse night terror, aka Night Drive. I guess that's what it was billed under as it was in production. So there you go. There's some information on this. But if you've seen this, leave a comment. Love to talk about it. Thanks again to Kino Lorber, Scorpion Releasing, for sending this to me for review. It was a really fun one, and I will have more reviews for you next time from in front of the old abandoned Kino rack. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will see you later.